It's Equity.Guru. It's the Investor Roundtable. I know someone that's very excited. Well, actually, a lot of people are very excited about this, but one man in particular, Vishal Batura, who
he's giggly happy.
Well, Galen, you're a gold guy now too, man.
Oh, yeah,
you and I were both the gold bulls here.
Oh, yeah, I'm a gold bug. Absolutely.
Ultimately, who's not a gold guy?
Right.
Really, you think about it. Like if you had a pocket full of it.
Oh.
One guy that can't join us today because he's still under the weather, and we want him back is the man sitting right over there in the basement. Well, he's not sitting. His picture's sitting in the basement. Next to me right there, Chris
Got
Perry.
An amazing grin. Such a winning smile.
Yeah, totally engaged.
Yeah.
Galen is upstairs in the penthouse, and as usual, the rich guy, Double V. Double V is up there as well. It's Falcon Gold. And they're tied in with Marvel Discovery, but we're not going to we're not going to overextend ourselves as some investors do. We're going to stick with Falcon Gold for the most part. On the TSX Venture Exchange, it is FG. What do you know? FG. It's Kareem Rayani is the Vancouver-based Chief Executive Officer, and Mr. Vishal will tell us now what the hell's going on.
Yeah, for sure, Rob. So Falcon Gold and Marvel Discovery, it seems here Falcon is focusing, on gold and silver, and we are going to stick with this company, but just want to mention the other company run by Kareem Rayani here is Marvel Discovery, who are much more of a multi-commodity resource company here, and you can see that they're into uranium, nickel, copper, platinum, and palladium, those metals as well, and even rare earths. So if you're liking these larger commodity plays, then maybe take a look at Marvel Discovery. But in this show here, in this investor roundtable, Falcon Gold will be the topic. And, the company acquires, explores, and advances projects. And Mr. Rayani has been picking up these projects in good jurisdictions and, prospective projects that are usually near producers or big companies here. As you can sort of see here, their flagship project in central Canada it borders Agnico's Eagle's 4.6 million ounce Hammond Reef deposit. So the whole idea is, hey, if there's a drill result or a discovery here, maybe that discovery vein is on Falcon Gold's land, and if Agnico needs to get more resources or increase the resources, they might not need to spend the money. They can just say, hey, Falcon, you've spent that money advancing and doing some drills there, there's something there, let's do a joint venture, or let's just buy you out, right? That's the whole idea here, picking up really good land packages adjacent to producing mines, or mines that have an estimate of ounces or of resources, and looking down the road for either a joint venture or a takeover sometime down the road. And I think it's something we'll probably see a lot of, especially if the gold bull market and silver bull market continues. A lot of these bigger miners haven't really spent that money on exploring because prices of gold and silver, have sort of been lower for quite some time, and a lot of these guys were not making too much money, so they couldn't really spend that money or extra profits on basically advancing and finding more resources. And that's the opportunity where a lot of these juniors and explorers and joint those project generators, right? That's where it all comes in, where they saw that opportunity and that's what drilling's all about, right? They're looking for this time where some of these big boys will have to come out to either do a joint venture or do some sort of takeover, which, by the way, we have seen some big mining companies already take over some juniors. But that's the whole game here, right? Falcon Gold, we're hoping they hit big grades of gold and have something that might entice these bigger producers. And as you can see here, their flagship project here does have recent drilling intercepted grades as high as 20.5 grams per ton near surface. And you're also seeing some samples of 79.7 grams per ton. So here's some of the data over there. And this is basically the portfolio, Falcon Gold's portfolio. You can see most of it is in Canada, which again, I think it's great because Canada is a safe jurisdiction, a non-AK-47 country, in terms of mining jurisdictions, government and rule of law is usually pretty good here. That's I like to look at these safe places, right? I think it's best to maybe invest your hard-earned money in mining stocks in safe jurisdictions. And then they also have 2 projects here in Chile and also in Argentina, which are also quite popular for mining and mining jurisdiction in general. So that's the company in a nutshell. Acquiring, exploring, and advancing these projects, creating drill holes, and creating a resource, and looking to the future for rising gold prices, which might lead to some sort of joint venture or a buyout opportunity down the road.
Talking exit strategies, baby. Galen, what are you thinking?
Well, building on what Vishal has already sort of discussed in regards to Falcon Gold, it really is a company that is in the business to build opportunity, and not necessarily, and this isn't the fault of it by any means, not necessarily to follow it through to complete development, building the mine itself. They want to make sure they take it to a point where somebody else who's got all the logistics and all the power and all the money, they go, you know what, you guys have found something really good, we'd like to get in on it. So basically, right now, what they've done has, through the last depression of the mineral cycle, the super cycle, have gone in and found these adjacent properties to prolific finds and deposits, and have opened up these territories and said, you know what? There's still stuff here. Let's take a look, and basically are investing enough to take control of the area and show that it actually has a viable resource. And in the end, being able to turn that property around and have somebody else go, I want it. Their biggest thing, of course, is Central Canada. That's their main baby. That's their flagship property. They had a really good 2020 drilling program where they intersected. Let me see here. What was it? 5.8 or 5.68 grams per ton gold, which for this day and age, as far as like a regular kind of finding, is actually quite nice. It provides an opportunity for you to build an underground mine. You get around 1 point something or other grams per ton gold, and then you're looking at open pit and just scooping up whatever you can.
I would say 2 grams per ton is pretty good.
Exactly.
Anything higher than 2 grams per ton.
Exactly, totally. That really provides an opportunity in vein discovery. Now, gone are the days, although they do have grab samples indicating this, 20 grams and stuff. Because, that used to be where you're picking gold nuggets up out of the stream that were like 10 grams just on their own without refining. It was funny because that's the ticket. You can find a lot of grams, but it's how you're going to get it and how easy is it to get at it. Or how you're going to get it out of it and how easy you're going to get at it. I had a friend who gave me a few ounces of gold after he spent a summer prospecting up in the interior of BC, swinging a pickaxe off a cliff and going, yep, there's gold here. And he gave me a few ounces of it. But the problem is it would have cost me more to take it out of the rock that he showed it to me than it would to actually just have it in my hand and go, yeah, here's some gold, guys. So this is the thing that these people are up against. So yeah, you find it, but can you find it in a good enough area? Now, Central Canada shows a lot of near-surface gold, which is really nice to get at. They've also gone across the country into Newfoundland, where they've done a co-pro with Marvel Discovery on a couple, or on a property, at least one anyway. What was it? The Golden Brook. Yes, the Golden Brook. Branching out to South America is an interesting move for these guys. It's a little bit outside of jurisdiction in terms of direct control, but if they've got good representation and we don't end up with another Bre-X, we've got an interesting thing. Don't worry, I think we've solved the Bre-X situation with our national instrument restrictions on reporting. You can't have a geologist going out and salting the grab samples with 30 gram per ton samples.
For those that are interested, watch Gold the movie with Matthew McConaughey.
Yes. That does outline it. Doesn't actually say Bre-X, but it's the Bre-X story.
It is the Bre-X story.
Yeah,
really?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It is the Bre-X story.
Yeah.
Check it out. I think you'll. It's a small company out of it was Calgary.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember where it was exactly located.
But
it was the South American geologist that had everybody going and brought it to $1 billion rating when there was.
It was a South American geologist, but the asset was in Indonesia.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was in Indonesia.
It was in Indonesia.
Jesus, it's been so damn long. I've completely forgotten. But it was a South American geologist.
How long ago was that movie?
This movie came out in 2016, but I mean, we're talking about like
the Bre-X was the 80s.
Yeah.
Wow. That'd be fun. All right.
And that's the Bre-X fiasco, which went worldwide because a lot of people got burned, brought about the national instrument restrictions on reporting. So basically what you see right now when guys are saying this is a non-compliable resource, it's because of that incident that they can't report on historical drills and finds and say that, you know, this is what's there. They have to have a national instrument 43101 to actually say that this is what we see to be there. We've gotten pretty sticky on reporting requirements, which is good. I think it's a good thing.
How come before we'll get to the charts on Falcon Gold here, Falcon Gold is FG on the Venture Exchange TSX.
Yep.
We haven't done any diamond companies. And by the way, are they publicly traded or are they private?
No, there are diamond companies. Mostly they're mining out of the Northwest Territories.
Are they bigger caps or something? How come
they're actually, for the most part, if they're storing away diamond and all those guys, if they start mining and finding diamonds, they're big companies. But they're really selling to only one or two distributors, i.e. De Beers, who holds stuff in vaults to make sure that the price of diamonds doesn't go down. So it's a different market. But an interesting one nonetheless, absolutely, and one that we've rarely talked about because there's not a lot of players in the diamond industry, and as I said, there's only a few buyers.
There was actually an article that came out. This was years ago, but it was like it took the diamond industry. I think maybe even did a lot of damage. But the Economist magazine came out with an article saying basically millennials and the new generation is not even considering diamonds anymore because of the whole ethical, way they're sourced. And there's something now called synthetic diamonds, like lab-grown diamonds.
And they're becoming far more easy to produce without having.
It's a diamond, right? It's basically
diamond. It's diamond. It's just done in a lab rather than
it's just in a lab,
formed in a mountain.
And of course, there's the African ones, but there's also the ones. I think it's Alberta, right? The super different ones that certain stores in Toronto, for example, and around Canada.
I'm only familiar with the fields in Northwest Territories. Doesn't mean that there are others that don't exist.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But like amazing.
Up north.
Some of the stuff. And then they just hunt around for giant rocks and they're finding them every once in a while.
There are those finds. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's all the matter of cutting them to produce the value. And again, as I said, De Beers locking it away in a vault.
But surely we digress. And I don't mean to
yes. Stop calling me Shirley. But yes.
One day we'll do a diamond.
We'll do a diamond thing today. Sorry to get everybody off track. Falcon Gold, the charts, the show.
So Rob, the chart here is looking, it's looking quite interesting here. And, we actually did do a technical chart attack on this, Galen and I, and we're talking about, hey man, there's something here. The stock itself found some support at around 6 cents, and we are now battling basically between 6 cents and 7.5 cents here. But some positive signs, a few positive signs here. First off, when I zoom out, we have found support at 6 cents at something I call a flip zone. So basically, it's a more complex way of saying an area that's been both support and resistance. You can see here the 6 cents was support in May of 2020 and resistance back in February of 2020. I find these zones act the best when it comes for taking profits, or also where a new trend or a reversal will begin. And possibly that's happening here because we are finding support at 6 cents, and these are price zones we haven't seen actually since June of 2020. So it's been quite some time since we've been down at this zone, and we've ranged here basically for the entire month of December. And we are picking up here. We are now crossing my moving average, so that's another positive sign. But what I want to see for the breakout is a break and close here above 7.5 cents here, and I think that triggers a reversal pattern here, and we could be talking about a move back to 11 cents and then up to 12 cents, and then from there we'd be looking for a breakout above 12 cents, which really gets the stock going in. We're talking about a 6 cent or a 7 cent company. Obviously, when the stock will move up to 11 cents or 12 cents, that's going to be quite the large percentage gain there. So the stock is looking coiled. It's looking ready to go. Just some, maybe some catalyst is what can drive the stock price higher or give us that breakout. But I'm really watching gold and silver here. While we're recording this, the U.S. markets are closed because of Martin Luther King Day, so not much action really on any other markets, but gold is still looking for that major triangle breakout. Inflation talks are getting gold buoyed, and I think gold is actually holding up relatively well, even though people are talking about interest rate hikes, which generally are seen as negative for gold. But so far, it looks like the inflation trade is still there, and that's the way I'm approaching gold and silver and other commodities. I think it's an inflation trade, and maybe the best currency you want to hold. So gold is still looking supportive, and I think if this gets another leg or breaks above our triangle, we'll see that breakout, of course, in Falcon Gold, and basically every gold company that you can talk about will get those breakouts. And then silver looks even better here, in my opinion. Like we're just like knocking on that door for breakout here above 23.5 cents. Of course, if you've been following our work on Equity.Guru and our previous investor roundtables, we've been talking about the support here at $21 to $22. So you've done yourself quite well if you did take some positions or silver contracts there. But I think the big breakout in silver is just beginning. And that also might mean that gold is also going to do its big breakout here as well. And things are looking positive, right, for the metals. And if they do act well, or if they do confirm these breakouts here, I think the juniors, the explorers, the miners, the royalty and streamers, the project generators, they're all going to do quite well. But I think you want to look for some of these companies that are showing signs of basing like this, that are pre-breakout, because I think they'll have a much higher move in these upcoming rallies.
FG on the venture exchange. Galen, what are you spending right this second?
Well, the company is admittedly in a place where it's not doing anything. I mean, it's doing stuff in terms of exploration, had some pretty good results and that kind of stuff, but it's not going to be taking anything to market, and it needs a partner, to somebody to take it with it. However, in that vein, it's got a lot of assets. It has about $1.6 million in the bank as of its last financial reporting, and it's only costing us or the company $300,000 every quarter to keep the doors open. It will have to raise more money in terms of exploration to bring those numbers even further up, but it has a busy 2022 planned going ahead, especially in its central Canada assets. Now the problem for me, and it's I just get this way. I always get a little hinky when we start to get up near 100 million shares, because that for me means a rollback. You can't be equity raising, and you're not really good to go into debt with these companies. So I'm a little reticent, but not. The whole industry has experienced a bit of a kick in the teeth. As Vishal said, the upsides in gold right now is pretty good. We're seeing a potential breakout in both silver and gold, and we're going to see that in probably copper as well. So a company like this, it's positioned to get going. If it can get more partnerships happening, that's where I'd like to see it start to infuse money. If it has to do an equity raise, okay, sure. It is at 7 cents, which is pretty well basement for a company such as this, especially considering the assets that it has. Yes, it has an incredibly small market cap considering. So, you know what I'd do? At this point, I'm probably going to throw in 2,500, and I want to see what's going to happen over the next 6 months in terms of relationships development and also resource development, if that has to happen, and any more equity raises that have to come through the door. So 2,500, and then I'll maybe play some more. I like the company. I like what they're doing.
All right. Do-si-do from you, Vishal Batura.
Yeah, I'm actually doing the same, 2,500 here, and I'm doing that because I do like investing. You guys know more in the bullions, the royalties, but basically some of these guys that are a bit more further advanced, right? In the stream, these guys are still a bit more, they're junior miners, and there's always that risk, right? Obviously, with the junior miners, I do prefer investing in, the royalty and streamers, the bullion, and I guess a bit more advanced mining companies. But I still do think, I'm playing these juniors because I still do think that a move in gold and a move in silver will get even the juniors moving. And, that's where a lot of big gains are going to be made. So I'm going to be putting 2,500 in Falcon Gold here. And I do think that breakout is upcoming, and I hope it sustains and we get to see prices up to 12 cents. And then from there, that's where I'm going to be making a big decision if we break above 12 cents, because, you know, that's a very big key level. And from that point on, we're talking about doubling up to 25 cents if we do get that breakout. But a lot of it depends on, a lot of it will depend on what we see here in gold and silver going forward. But I do like support it's holding. I do like the fact that it's getting above my moving average. It's just that breakout that needs to trigger it, and we're good to go.
2,500 bones each.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chris is super giddy. Look at his smile. He's throwing down 5K just because he's so positive. Look at him go. The guy's just, you know, Mr. Moneybags.
Settle down over there. All right, people. We will be, of course, talking about resource companies again in the not-so-distant future as we circle back through here in 2022. Falcon Gold tied in a bit with Marvel Discovery. Kareem Rayani is the CEO in Vancouver. It's the TSX FG on the Venture Exchange. Please, people, do your own homework, do your own research, check your charts, do your reading. We can't guarantee a darn thing because there are no guarantees in life, especially when it comes to stocks. Past performance does not guarantee future results, nor does any of our personal histories that we're passing along here. So good luck with it. Do your homework, and we'll see you on the very next Equity Guru Investor Roundtable.